So this video this video is gonna talk about why I do like delta STs more than gamma NTs. So let me grab a pen to show you why. So I personally think that duality in a lot of cases tends to be best if other people aren't involved. Sometimes when other people get involved, your dual, especially if they're unhealthy, they can like betray you. But this is hard to explain, I guess. So to me, let's just try to look at two types. So if I'm looking at, okay, I guess I'll look at, this is me comparing an ILE to an SLI. And it's just like, so, and this is also, I guess I'll just put LIE and like LSE. So the things that arise when I'm with gamma NTs is that the way they're SE, and it's not that they have weak SE, it's more the way that they use it. Like, yes, LIEs, they have like their SE is here, they have SE, then no, they have TE, NI, SE, and then LSEs have TE, SI, SE. Obviously, an INFP wants both of these things. Do they like it? In some cases, yes, but they can also dislike it. I was reading on EIIs that their ethics are different than ESI's, because ESI's ethics are not as particular about people. There's a word they used, and I don't remember the name of it because it was really confusing. But I'll try, if I like go back to the post, I'll make another video explaining what they were talking about. But I think it was that ESIs are not as specific about, you know, maybe the type of person they're with. EIIs can be very specific on the type of person they want, and it might be that they have their ethics is high moral standards than ESIs. And it also said EIIs didn't idolize people a lot, but I don't know. Anyways, the problems that arise is the way that gamma NT's SE is used. So the problems that arise, and now these are just like social problems. So I really only meet gamma NTs when I'm at like a school place. If I'm going to like, let me try to think, a summer camp, they're usually not really there. There might be, but usually if I'm going to school, there's a lot of people, you know, they're working there, or there's some of my friends I know a little bit, like I'm not that close with them. But the thing is, I can get bullied I've been bullied, not bullied specifically, like I have been bullied very much by one person, but this is from another school. But I have sometimes been like picked on by, you know, maybe gamma NTs. And, you know, here's an instance of me getting bullied. So there was I had a best friend and she was an LIE, and then there was this IEI boy who he kind of picked on me a lot. The problems that arise is that the way her SE is it doesn't cover my SE polar. So the reason that, maybe I might like Delta STs more is because their SE, it covers in their SI, it covers my weak functions the best. And it's why I think that in some cases, dual and activity relationships can be good, especially when you're like in, let's say, a difficult situation with a lot of people and you're more vulnerable. I am particularly vulnerable to attracting narcissists and just bullies. And I read a thread that EIIs, because they're most susceptible to that, and because I can be too nice to people, and when it's complicated for me to stand up for myself. It can be it's because it's a weak spot for me. So that there is something to socionics, because I have observed, when I was around a Delta ST and how it helped me in those sort of places where they can cover for my weakest spot. And maybe it might be that I'm at this point, I really wish I had more help in these two things than like my TI or my TE, because yes, I do struggle with those things as well, but I feel like when you're unhealthy, and if you're an intuitive type, you might be wanting more help with these things, but it really depends on the person. But that is the case. But I don't have much experience with Delta STs besides like maybe one-ish person. I have observed in environments where people are not valuing SI that they can be, the environment tends to be a bit more mentally disturbed. And I'm not just talking, beta NFs, because beta NFs have low SI, that means it's only their environment. No, it can also be gamma NTs where these more mentally disturbed environments a bit, like not, horribly, but I also have observed with NI egos that however the way they function, I don't know, but they kind of let bullying, because they have, they don't really value SI exactly. They might let bullying occur, or because maybe they're not looking around or they're not noticing the bullying. But I wouldn't know why they don't care about bullying, because you would think that would be the case. And I guess it makes me see them as a little bit shallow in the fact that, I see these people and they talk to me and they talk about, oh, I want to be nice to people. But then when you see someone getting bullied or something bad happen, you don't do anything. And I don't like bullying. And when I see someone getting bullied, it upsets me. And so sometimes that can annoy me with people that have low SI. So, and I'm not exactly sure why SI egos are rarer where I live. It just has been my observation that there's less SI where I live. It could just be like, obviously maybe central types are more common, and that's just how it is. It is interesting, but I do obviously think that there are associations that NI is associated in some aspects with autism. And, you know, not understanding how to deal with social cues or certain things like that could be related. So I don't know if that's a connection exactly, because there's different, like, it's hard for me to explain. There's different people in the way they value their functions. Just like how, you know, my friend's NE might be different than my NE because of her life or whatever, the person she grew up as. People have different childhoods, they have different traumas. But I kind of was curious, like, is another point, you know, maybe Delta STs, because there is a divide between me and Delta STs. And the reason I began to think about this is like contradicting what I said before, where I'm like, Gamma NTs don't have SI and it annoys me. And maybe this is because, you know, I'm an EII and I have like expectations that this person, it's not like I'm ever gonna find anyone who ideally fits all these any standards I have. And it's just me nitpicking whatever ideas I have, because I'm probably not gonna find, you know, an LI who has like, he's like, you know, an LI who has really good NI but he has like enhanced SI. I mean, I could. Maybe that's my ideal type. I don't know. A person. I have no idea. But I have made observations about every types, and an observation I have made about Delta STs is they're low NI. It's either they're low NE or something about them can make us divided from each other. Like their NI is like here, and I'm like, my NI is like, I use this sometimes. It's there. That's not something I use frequently as much as I use my FI, but I do value it. So then it pisses me off sometimes when like an LSC can be closed-minded, or they don't change their mind about anything that I'm talking to them about. They can't see other viewpoints. It can definitely piss me off. There's things that piss me off, even if I like how I love SI, but then at points it's like it will annoy you. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Like, am I crazy? Like, what type is EIIs compatible with? Because I don't know. I don't really have as much interaction with SLIs to know their NI, because yes, they have NI roles, so it's probably going to be different than, you know, LSE, so I have no idea. I mean, I have a pretty strong TI role, so I would be curious about an SLI who has a strong NI role, like what they are like. But I definitely think there is a divide of like Delta NFs and Delta STs, that their relationships aren't always stable or something along the lines of that. I do think that we need more SI users in society to balance things out and to create more harmony, because there is a lack of harmony in places that I've been at. But I always say I'm gonna make a part 2, but I never do. But I do want to talk like more in depth about different things in the next videos. But I actually have to go to bed because I'm exhausted from school, and like I force myself to wake up early. So yeah. I don't know. I haven't really interacted with ESEs either to see how our relationship is. But I'm gonna go to bed. So that's the end of this. Whatever this video is, it doesn't make sense. It's a little bit random. The reason I was associating NI with autism is because I know an ILI teacher, and she may have some kind of, like, you know, autism or something, where I couldn't figure it out at first, because I thought, you know, this person, she's being mean to me on purpose. But as I was thinking about it further, maybe her being mean is something she can't stop doing. But it's just like an observation. Okay, I'm ending this. Goodbye. Good night. Whatever this video was. I need to go to bed.